Bang. Where the fuck am I?
You better get back!
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Hey everybody, what is up and welcome back to another anime review with TheMKninja. You may have noticed there's a drastic difference in location. That's because I've actually moved. I'm in an entirely new home. It's not my own home. I'm living in my mom's home, but due to personal reasons, but it will change my ability to record some certain videos, mainly anime reviews, since I feel like just talking to a screen is harder to explain than talking with friends. So Let's Plays will still be easy to record, but these might not be so much. So I apologize for not having one last Monday, but there will be one today, and hopefully one in the next upcoming Monday when an opportunity arises for me to actually record it. But with that out of the way, I was in the mood to watch some classic anime, and I decided to end up rewatching Trigun, which I feel like is one of those anime that people don't usually talk about too much in terms of classic stuff. Like, they'll talk about it in terms of, like, Johnny Young Bosch roles, or, classic anime they really like. But when just talking about, like, anime, I feel like Trigun doesn't get brought up as much as, like, it's I guess you could say its brother, Cowboy Bebop, which is one of the most popular anime of all time. Not maybe wrong, but generally in the circles that I'm in, I don't really hear too many people talk about Trigun. But is this really earned, or is it getting shafted? Well, let's get this bitch started and find out. Trigun stars Vash the Stampede, a man wanted for $60 billion double dollars. Meryl and Millie from the Bernadelia Insurance Society are sent to try and deal with him and stop his destruction to maybe the bare minimum. But they end up finding out that this man might not be the murderous swine that everyone's been led to believe, and instead someone who's just trying to spread love and peace, even though he gets constantly involved in a lot of chaos. Trigun is very episodic for a large portion of it. I'd say about the first half is very episodic, and the second half is where the story actually begins, and a lot of revelations are made about the characters. So it's a little difficult to really talk about the story without going into spoilers. So just know this review will be full of spoilers. So if you want to check out the anime, it is one of the few anime on Funimation.com that is completely free to watch. You do not need a premium account, and you can go on Funimation, search Trigun, and watch the entire series completely for free. I think the same is also true for Crunchyroll, but I know that Funimation also has the sub there too. I think. Last time I checked, I think it did. But anyway, go check it out for free on Funimation, or, just get their premium service because they have a lot of really great stuff there. So you do that, and then watch this review if you want to, because Vash is an alien. Yeah. The story gets a little convoluted, I'd say. One of the things is, I like the idea that humanity has had to go to other planets, with Vash being, I think he's a power plant, is what I don't know exactly what race he is. I forgot. I remember plants was mentioned, and plants are also like these power sources that the people on this planet use. Well, they're humans. People use. So I guess he's one of those, which is why he's allowed to interact with them. Like, the story gets pretty convoluted, is the thing. Vash basically ends up getting roped into this idea of being a monster because his brother, Million Nimes, is a total fucking douchebag and makes him destroy a city because his arm turns into a cannon and blows everything up. And suddenly Vash is evil, even though he's actually just a really nice guy who wants to spread love and peace, because that's his motto. And you really feel for him so much because you're like, this guy's really nice, but he keeps getting screwed over. And sure, he makes a lot of friends. Like, there's a lot of people that he meets that that they realize, oh crap, he's actually a really great guy, and he really helps us out. So you understand that there's still hope for him, and it's not like constantly beating him down. There are many moments that are very uplifting, which makes the story very nice, in its more darker moments. And even though it starts off very lighthearted, it does get very dark. And I would say the tonal shifts are kind of strange because the thing about like a lot of really popular anime I find out is there are some big tonal shifts. Like I mentioned this for Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, I think I did at least, but that anime is really great, but there's a lot of shifts in tone a bit too frequent, and that does happen here, and it does work a little better here because I feel like with the insanity of the show, it does kind of fit that constant flip. Um, so it's not really too much of a bother, but it's more like that these two scenes don't go together super well, but it's it's just kind of like that. And like I said, from half of it, it's episodic, so it's pretty basic. But the story, I guess, is convoluted, but it's pretty good, I guess. It's enough to give us to some really interesting characters. First of all, Vash. I love Vash. He's a ton of fun. You really feel for the guy. He's very sympathetic, and he's also a complete badass. And I love his ideal. Like his ideal is that he is not the one who should be taking life, because who are we to decide when someone dies? That's his idea of it. Like he'll fight people and such, and he'll say like, "Oh, what you're doing is wrong," but he won't kill them. And at many points, it brings him to conflict with other characters that he's with, or with the fact that it doesn't solve an issue immediately. Usually it works out for him, but there are many points where it definitely didn't, and if he did kill someone, it would have helped. But it's in that rocky point of like who's right and who's wrong. The anime never really picks a side. It just says basically stick to your ideals essentially, and just be who you are. Vash is really interesting. He's really funny too. A lot of the animation on him is really great, and Johnny Yamash's voice work is awesome. I'd say he does better in the comedic moments than in the serious moments because he's definitely gotten better as a voice actor as time has gone on. This definitely feels like one of his earlier roles, but it still shows his talent as a voice actor because he still sounded really great even in his younger days and such. And that's really awesome. And most of the voice work is kind of corny 90s anime, but in a good way where it's like pretty good quality, but still pretty corny, and sometimes you're like, that was a bit awkward. But it's more like, it was still, the other line reads are still pretty good. Like most of the voice work is still really great. And the characters are really fun too. I love Millie and I love Meryl. They're both really fun in their own ways. Millie's kind of like a kind of dumb, but she's really lovable and likable, and she always has like a smile on her face, and she's like, "Hi, Mr. Vash," and I'm like, "Oh, I love you, Millie." And she's like ridiculously strong. She carries like this giant chain gun, and like there's a joke of it always falling out of her dress because she has like a strap, and it like falls out. It's like, "Oh, the strap broke again," and it, like crushes some dude's foot or something, or they're like, "What the hell?" They're like freaked out that this giant gun falls out of this like cute woman's dress. I mean, she's really tall, so it makes sense. Like she's an Amazon at that point. Like she's pretty much taller than every other character. But I love how like kind of naive she is, but she still has like her own really like, fun charm. And Meryl is a bit more high strung. She's usually pretty serious. She's a thinker, and she kind of like as at odds with Vash. And you definitely get the feeling that over time she comes to really like Vash, kind of like romantically. The anime never actually really explores that outlet because they just never actually end up getting together. But you get that idea, and you really feel for her, and I really like that. It definitely makes that connection with her and Vash more interesting. Um, and the three of them have really great, fun friend chemistry, and I like watching them. And then there's Nicholas D. Wolfwood, who shows up later. I think like around episode 7. He disappears for a little bit, then comes back, and he's a really interesting character. He's pretty funny. He's very badass. His ideals are also really interesting because he's at odds with Vash because he believes that like he's lived a harsh life, so he's like, no, we should be allowed to kill. and you got to kill in self-defense, and sometimes it's the only thing you can do. He's a really interesting character. I really like him. The villains are pretty good too. Like some don't stay too long, but others are like longer lasting, and they're rather good. Not as good as the main heroes, I would say, but they're pretty good. And the animation, for the most part, still holds up rather well. It's still 90s animation, so you get the feeling that if it was made today, it'd be a little better. In fact, it's actually kind of highlighted in the movie that came out, Badlands Rumble. And that movie looks awesome, and the animation Trigun is good. I think the fights look pretty good, the backgrounds look gorgeous, the characters look really great, the designs are really great. You feel like there's effort in every single frame, but sometimes there's not enough frames. I get it, budget, but I don't know. The animation still holds up rather well. I wouldn't say it's the best animated 90s anime, but it's definitely still pretty good. Like I said, the dub's really great. Music really is good. It's kind of like, it's catchy. It's not like badass music. It's hard to, it's like, I don't know. I remember I was watching it with a friend, and he's like, wow, that music. And it was a fight scene going on. It was more like jazzy. And I guess that's a good word for it, jazzy. And it's pretty good. It surprisingly goes rather well with a lot of the fight scenes, and definitely feels at home with the tone of the anime. And just overall, it's a damn fun anime. It's a classic, and I love it. The characters are really interesting. The story is a bit crazy and convoluted, but I still enjoy it. The artwork is awesome. The fight scenes are really great. The ideals and psychology in it is also really interesting, and it's just a damn fun show, and it's also really funny. But overall, I'm going to give Trigun an 8 out of 10. I give a lot of 8s. I need to find more bad anime. I feel like people need to see me rage more about anime. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, please go ahead and make sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out my videos. Also, make sure to check my supporters, all the great stuff, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.